Call this meeting to order. Recognize we have 3 out of our 5 board members present tonight, with Heather Martin being absent and Ryan Tolley. If you would please stand with me as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we've all had an opportunity to see the agenda for tonight. I need a motion and a second to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. At this time, we're going to open up a public hearing. I'm going to read some stuff here. Pursuant to IC 6.1.1-20, before a school corporation enters into a lease and or issues bonds for the construction or renovation of a school building, resulting in total costs in excess of certain thresholds or due to a school corporation's net service fund tax rate, it must hold 2 public hearings on its preliminary determination to do so. The first hearing is open to the public for comment, and that's what we're doing here this evening. So the next item on the agenda is for the board to hold a preliminary hearing on the proposed project. If you are interested in speaking at the hearing, please make sure you have signed in the sheet. Include your name and address. Nobody signed in to speak. Okay. The notice of this preliminary determination hearing was published as legally required. At this time, I will ask bond counsel to explain the purpose of this hearing.
Good evening, Kristen McClellan from Ice Miller. As board president mentioned, before school corporation does a project above a certain amount or has a debt service fund tax rate above a certain amount, we must first hold 2 hearings to give the public information. This is the first of those hearings. Again, the purpose of this hearing really is to set forth maximums. It doesn't mean that's what we're going to do, but this hearing, as Chad will present in just a minute, you're going to hear maximums. Again, there's no board action legally required tonight. It's truly just to have the hearing and to hear from any public. Again, we will have a second hearing next month, and we will move forward then.
Thank you. So we will now hear from Superintendent about the process of determining and communicating the project to the community and the need for the project.
Sure. Well, as many of you are aware, several of the facilities at Covington are in need of significant repairs, updates, and long-term investment. Early in this process, the district hired Tecton to conduct a comprehensive facilities assessment during the 25-26 school year. The purpose of that assessment was to identify not only the visible needs within our buildings, but also the mechanical, structural, safety, and infrastructure needs that may not be immediately apparent. Following the initial assessment, additional engineers and specialists reviewed specific systems and areas that required further evaluation. The process gave the district a more complete understanding of the condition of our facilities and the work that may be needed in years to come. Once that information was compiled, district leaders continued working with Tecton and members of their team to review the findings. Together, we began discussing the needs identified in the assessment, which concerns should be considered most urgent, and which improvements could be addressed as part of a long-term plan. Since that time, there have been several additional meetings focused on possible projects, estimated costs, priorities, timelines, and funding options. This has been a careful and deliberate process. Our goal has not been to create a wish list, but to determine what is necessary to protect our buildings, support our students and staff, and responsibly plan for the future. We also recognize that a figure such as $25 million sounds like a great deal of money, because it is. However, it is important to understand that projects under consideration are large-scale capital projects involving major building systems and long-term infrastructure needs. For example, the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems throughout our buildings need a significant overhaul, especially in this building. You can feel how warm it is tonight. Our staff and students experience these challenges firsthand. I get emails from one teacher almost every day reminding us of what the temperature is in her room. The estimated cost of just addressing the HVAC in this building alone is approximately $15 million. That single example helps illustrate how quickly the cost of a major facility work can add up. The information you will hear this evening represents the next step in the process. It is intended to provide the board and community with a broad understanding of the needs that have been identified and the options that may be available as we consider how to move forward. I appreciate the time and expertise of everyone who has contributed to this work, and I'll now turn the presentation back over to our board president to provide additional information.
Thank you. We will now hear from Chad from Stiefel.
Good evening, everybody. Vicki, you can go on to the next slide. Okay, so when it comes to funding the projects that we're talking about here tonight, we've got a few slides to go through. This slide shows the school district's current outstanding debt service payments. With the down in the legend below shows all the outstanding bond issues with the representing colors. You can see that coming up in 2027, you've got a pretty significant cliff, and then with all debt being paid off currently in 2038. This slide shows the debt service property tax rate to repay the current payments associated with the previous slide, which you can see they kind of track or correlate with the payments. And this shows financing of a proposed $25 million project on the next slide. So then this slide shows your current debt service levy plus layering in a 2026 bond issue of $16,250,000 and then another 2027 bond issue of $8,750,000. And then you can see in the green and the blue layering in those two new bond issues, solving for a flat debt service levy. Then this slide shows average taxpayer impacts. So if you look on the left-hand side, with the current tax rate being 0.3585, you can see that your average home value, what they would pay for the current debt service tax levy, and then you can see some other valued properties in there, as well as an acre of farm ground and also $100,000 on commercial property. And then you can see on the right-hand side the $25 million project taking the debt service tax rate to the 52 cents, and then you can see that what the average impact of the increased debt service tax rate would be to fund the proposed projects. And then this last slide, like Kristen said, we're establishing maximum parameters here tonight. And so I'm going to go over some of these maximum parameters on this slide. With the, as I mentioned, the total par amount of the bonds being $25 million total with the two issuances. The estimated cost of issuance being $500,000. The estimated proceeds available is just the difference between the two. So you would have $24,500,000 for construction cost and those types of things. Estimated interest rates are anywhere between 2 and 6%. Maximum term of the bonds would be 20 years, and the estimated total interest cost at a 5% rate would be $16.1 million, with the maximum annual payment being $3,150,000, and the net tax increase over the 2026 debt service tax rate being 0.1615. And then the additional information down at the bottom, the school corporation's max annual payments as a percent of NAV is 0.52, and the direct and overlapping debt as a percent of your NAV is 0.7 or 7.97. Sorry. I think that's it.
Could you go back up a couple slides? Just have a question, just to point something out. There was highlighted the average home value. Is that what that is?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, Chad, it is.
So you're looking at $10.35
Yeah.
a month increase.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Okay. Great. Thank you. We had nobody signed up for public comment on this, so I'm gonna skip that section here. I want to say thank you to all who participated in the hearing. We appreciate your time and interest in the project and the future of our community. Please note that this is just the first step in the legal process. No board action is legally required at this hearing. Rather, this hearing is solely to hear public comment. The board will continue to work with administration and its professionals to look for efficiencies to conserve tax dollars while meeting our educational needs. The board will hold a second public hearing in this boardroom on August 10th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. This time I need a motion and a second to adjourn that part of the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. as part of the
Second.
meeting.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Moving back to the regular agenda. Nobody was signed up for public comment on that as well. So that brings us to the consent agenda, which involves review and approval of minutes. That's a regular session board meeting, June 8th, and executive session meeting on June 17th. Review and approval of claims docket. Review and approval of fundraisers, which we do have a few, well, I guess maybe just one fundraiser here. The dance team doing a fundraiser to help offset the cost of uniforms. We have donations. We have three Kelly Harmison giving to FFA, Revolution Ag, FFS, and Heart and Hand Thrift Store to Athletics. And we also have our personnel report included in that consent agenda as well, and that'll be available after the meeting this evening. So I need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda.
I'll
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions about any of those items? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Moving on to new business, review and approval of the 2026 Homestead Credit Waiver Transfer. House Enrolled Act 1210-2026 allows schools to spread the financial impact of a new supplemental homestead credit provided under the Indiana Code 6-1.1-20.6-7.7 across all non-exempt funds that levy property taxes rather than only the operations fund. Based on the DLGF estimate, Covington Community School Corporation will lose approximately $94,000 in 2026 due to the homestead credit. By applying this waiver, the loss will be split proportionally between the operations fund and the debt service fund. You want to say a little bit about that?
You pretty much said it all, but basically, yeah, it's just allowing us to not take the full financial impact into our operations budget this year, but it'll allow us to share it into another fund, and we think it'll be a one-time thing. We don't have any more information than that, so it doesn't change any tax credit that would be distributed or increase any taxes. It's just basically allowing us to spread the impact that we'll feel from those credits.
Okay. So I need a motion and a second to approve the homestead credit waiver transfer.
I'll make a motion to approve the homestead credit waiver transfer.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions on that? No questions? All in favor? Aye. None opposed. We're moving on. Review and approval of the 2026-27 Covington Elementary Student Handbook.
And you guys had this last month, but a piece of information in there about dismissal was incorrect. It actually had been incorrect for a couple years, so it did not have the dash pass information, which is what we use to identify cars in the line. So we got that corrected. That's the only change from last month.
All right. So I need a motion and a second to approve the 26-27 Elementary Student Handbook.
I'll make a motion to approve the 26-27 Covington Elementary Student Handbook.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? No questions. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Moving on to review and approval of 26-27 Covington Certified Staff Handbook. You want to comment on any major changes in that would be significant? I mean, okay. All right, I need a motion and a second to approve the 26-27
I'll make a
staff.
motion to approve the certified staff handbook.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? No questions, all in favor? Aye. None opposed. Moving to review and approval of food service local school wellness policy triannual assessment. And this is what we talked about last month, that we had to get some clarification on a couple of things. Yeah. So those things have been fixed. So I need a motion and a second on the food service local school wellness policy.
I'll make a motion to approve the food service local school wellness policy.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? No questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Moving to review and approval of non-certified hourly staff to move from 22 pays to 26 pays.
Yeah, so this is something we started in August of last year, and we chose to table it. But all the other employees are on a 26 pay schedule, except for our non-certified hourly staff. We do have some non-certified that are still on 26 pays. So just to review the process we went through is we had meetings for all of the non-certified staff members to come in, where we went over not only the new pay schedule, but we actually printed what each of their pay periods would be based on their salary and gave that to them. We answered questions about, we clarified things such as winter weather days, 2-hour delays, all of those things that were included in the shifting of to the 26 pays. We then gave everyone an opportunity to ask questions in the meeting, or to stay after and ask questions, or to email questions, and we got none. And then they voted anonymously. I'm sorry, it was not anonymously. They had to put their names. And there was only 7 non-certified people that voted against going to 26 pays, but 2 of those were actually people who are already on 26 pays. So then they work year round. So we took them out because that would mean they'd be working for free. So everyone voted yes, but 5 of the hourly non-certified staff. So
Great. So we did our due diligence.
we did
Yeah.
our due diligence, yes.
All right, great. All right, I need a motion and a second to move non-certified staff from 22 pays to 26 pays.
I'll make a motion to approve moving non-certified staff from 24 pays to 26.
I'll second.
22, right? 22 pays.
I think I said 24. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
20, he said 24, but I'm gonna make
Oh,
sure.
sorry.
22, yeah.
Sorry.
Matt seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Moving to review and approval of 26-27 athletic handbook.
No major changes in that. Right now, we did change it to the junior, senior high athletic handbook. However, we know that the IHSAA rules don't all apply to middle school age students. But I've heard that there was once a middle school handbook, but it hasn't been approved for a couple of years through the board. So we're going forward with this one with the possibility of making a middle school a more appropriate one for middle school, and that would then come for approval later. But until then, they have this handbook they would fall under.
Okay. All right, I need a motion and a second to approve the athletic handbook.
I'll make a motion to approve the athletic handbook.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? No questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Moving to review and approval of the 26-27 crisis handbook.
So yeah, I'm excited about this because it's a little different than what you've seen before. It's actually a handbook that is the same across the entire district. And we are moving to a more definitive crisis protocol. We have adopted the I Love You Guys standard protocol. It is nationally recognized and research-based approach. It'll be the same at each building. It brings a common language for students, staff, and first responders. It's a simple 5 responses. Those are hold, secure, lockdown, evacuate. And the staff will be trained on it. Parents will be getting letters about this at home so they can also review the holds with their children. I met with Chief Foster, and he has the same. We gave him all of the protocols. We also will be purchasing something called Impact Suite, and it'll be doing a digital map of the entire district, which we need. And teachers will have the ability to, one, call a lockdown wherever they are, which is something we have not had. And then the rest of the staff can, on either an app or computer, can sign that they are safe or not safe. And that goes onto the digital map, which the police will have access to. And so, we're really just trying to step up our safety and crisis protocols and have this handbook that is not different per building, because our language and our processes should be the same across all buildings.
Great. Okay, so I need to set first a motion and a second to approve the 26-27 crisis handbook.
Make a motion to approve the 26-27 crisis management handbook.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? No questions. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Moving to review and approval of middle school, high school name change. Seeking approval to change the name to Covington Junior Senior High School and the structure from a middle school plus high school to one school containing grades 6 through 12.
Yeah, so we are making some changes. As you know, Ms. Hardy, our middle school principal, is moving over to the elementary school, and our fabulous high school team who is here tonight, Ms. Woodsman and Mr. Kersey, will be now the administration for 6 through 12. And so it only makes sense that our structure changes. It's important because of the way school grades will be moving forward with the new school grading system, as well as just when I started looking into it, even having a separate middle school, when we buy like programs and stuff, we're paying twice, even though we're in one building using the same program. And so we're excited about this change. Ms. We've been chatting all summer about what it's going to look like. She's very confident, and I have no concerns, but they will take on the middle school students and staff as well as their high school.
All right. Well, I need a motion and a second to approve the name change to Covington Junior Senior High School.
I'll make a motion to approve the name change.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. I do have a question. Is this required when you move it?
So we have to apply to the state for this. However, it has to go through the school board first for approval. So tomorrow, we've actually filled out the application, and then you get to the part that says upload the approval from your school board, and we were like,
Yeah, wait.
So ours would be a name change, and it was also falls under, there was one at the, but you have to mark the different things that you're doing, and so then ours would be, with the administration change as well.
Okay.
So
All right, great. Well, I've had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Moving on, we got a few teachers or a few coaches here that we have to approve separately out of the personnel report. So, review and approval of 5th grade teacher Jeremy Pettit, contingent on background check. So I need a motion in a second.
and his background check is through, and he left town, and there's one other part that they have to go back in and then hit submit. We called him, he did it, it just isn't in yet, but
Okay.
we don't foresee any issues.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve Jeremy Pettit.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions on that? No questions. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Review and approval of assistant football coach Jeremy Vandergraft.
I'll make a motion to approve hiring the assistant football coach.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to approve Jeremy Vandergraft, assistant football coach. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Review and approval of assistant girls basketball coach Ryan Burning.
I'll make a motion to approve the assistant girls basketball coach.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any questions on Ryan? No questions. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Review and approval of head tennis coach for boys Justin Pettit.
I'll make a motion to approve Justin Pettit, head boys and girls tennis coach.
I'll second. Or boys this time.
Just boys, yeah. I have a motion second. Any questions on Justin? No questions. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then lastly, review and approval of head tennis coach for the girls, also Justin Pettit.
I'll make a motion to approve Justin Pettit as the head girls tennis coach. I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions on Justin for the girls tennis coach? No questions. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Moving to second reading on approval of policies 5310, 8300, and 8510. We did the first reading approval. I guess first reading last month. We didn't have to do approval. So this is the approval setting these into policy.
I'll make a motion to approve policies 5310, 8300, and 8510. I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions on those? No questions. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We don't have any first readings because Neola has gone to a new platform,
Have
and
they?
so there's a freeze on everything.
Oh boy.
So there'll be more next month.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, which moves us to our administrative reports. You got anything additional for us, Vicki? Okay. Director of Operations, Ross, you got anything for us?
Just update that we're moving forward with Ridge Plumbing to do the sewer project at the library, the elementary school. We don't have a firm date set. They were getting with the company they were using to excavate the concrete. So I assume I'll hear from them the next day or so about their start date. That's the main thing. We did decide that we're gonna have to replace all of the carpet in there because we had Danville Flooring come and they searched through all of their vendors and that carpet.
Couldn't
is
match it.
It's
discontinued,
pretty
so,
cool.
we were hopeful that maybe we could just patch in the spot that we took out, and that's not gonna happen. So they're gonna get us a quote to just replace all of the carpet over there.
And I'm getting nervous. I don't know that we'll be completely done by the start of school. So we have a backup plan for teachers to check out like a bunch of books in a basket to have in their rooms until we are done.
And to touch on that, I think the thought on that is that it would be a couple to 3 week project. So we can still get it done. But
Maybe no carpet yet, but
yeah.
What do you do if the sewer part's not done though and start of school? I mean,
We would.
start worrying.
bring in porta potties or something, you know?
I mean, we think that part will be done. They said 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just the putting their thing back together.
It's just getting it all
Yeah.
because they have to tear up a large
Yeah,
chunk of
but
the. It's a long.
they didn't seem concerned about getting it done in that time.
Yeah, okay,
It's just a matter of getting the carpet in and put back down.
okay, good deal. Did Paul have anything that he communicated?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
how about yourself?
July 21st, next Tuesday at 5:30, we're doing a State of the Schools community conversation in the cafeteria, and all public is welcome. We'll touch on the bonds, we'll touch on, our budget, touch on the new school grading system, and just highlight some of the new initiatives and things happening. So share that with everybody. We are adopting the Leader in Me, and we have teacher trainings for elementary and middle school teachers on August 7th or 11th. The elementary is on the 7th, the middle school is on the 11th. Tomorrow we will be at the Fountain County Fair with a booth for our school, so come out and see us there. We are actually, another thing I'm excited about to enhance our safety is in the elementary school, we haven't had a safe vestibule. So our parents and visitors are allowed to come through the double doors, but then they have access to the entire school and there's not a school employee with them. So we have worked hard. His team's helped me, but we are going to start utilizing that window in between the two doors. And we will have a staff member sitting there that parents won't get past the first set of double doors unless they need to and are taken by an employee. They can drop backpacks or lunches or whatever off. They can check their child out from that part as well. And so it's just a step that we have been missing that we are making stronger for safety.
Mhm.
And then lastly, I just wanted to give a shout out to our maintenance and custodial staff. With our budget constraints, we have not hired extra help this summer except for one person when we normally hire multiple people. And Ross he didn't complain. I think sometimes he wondered how it's all going to happen, but it has. They've done an amazing job and gotten really everything done. Even in the gym, they put the wax down and then the air broke. And if you don't have air, then your wax isn't going to dry. And that put them behind, but they just kept going. And so they've done a really nice job this summer.
Good deal. Good job, Ross.
So today,
Thanks, Ross.
We did do we decided last summer to rotate 3 of the 4 gyms each year, getting resurfaced. And so last year we did the elementary, which hadn't been done in a decade probably, but so it was done last year, and it's gonna change between the elementary and the MPR. That'll be the rotation. So MPR, varsity, and middle school gym were all done this year, but varsity and middle school gym, they'll be the consistent each year.
The middle school gym needed it bad, so
Yeah,
it's,
it gets done yearly, but
Yeah.
it's just, there's nothing to stop all of the road grime and everything that
Yeah.
people track in all winter.
I was thinking we skipped it last year. Did we do it last year?
Yeah, we did.
Did it?
We
Okay.
skipped the MPR
I know.
last year.
Okay, we skipped that. Okay. I just wanted to clarify. You said the 21st. Did you say the 21st next Thursday? Or-
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
Mhm.
Next Tuesday. Okay. All right. Any board comments tonight?
How we coming with the suck holes out there that we got?
No change as of yet. I haven't heard anything more from KC on that. I've seen them working down that way. I don't know if it's necessarily on the storm or not, but that was going to be an investigation on the city's part as far as trying to figure out if there was some sort of restriction that was keeping it from being able to take all of our storm water away, or what was going on there. But so yeah, we're currently still in that same situation. We have trouble when we get those huge fast downpours. A standard rain, we can handle it, but just watching.
But we had a new sinkhole develop over by the parking lot.
Right, that one's been here since we
last
started
February,
the
yeah.
process. It was starting, but yeah, it's so we'll have to
Some-
one way or another.
We have to figure it
So
out.
that tells me it's not an individual drain problem. It's got to be.
Yeah, so our this stretch runs from the next set of doors here all the way to the corner of Railroad and Fifth down here, and that's where it ties in. And we thought it was on us because we had the sinkholes develop here. And I think what we've discovered after having people out with cameras and the city came and they ran the jetter back this way to make sure there wasn't any blockage, and everything seems to flow fine to that point, but there's just so much coming from the east and it's all going west that by the time all of that gets to this intersection, I guess we're just not pushing enough pressure to get into that, and it's all coming right back on us then. So.
I used to joke about I'm worried that the front of the building is going to collapse, and he would laugh, but he doesn't laugh anymore, and he says he's starting to worry too. So I know we have an issue.
It's concerning because it's washed out underneath the entrance to the middle school drop off, and then it comes up into the entryway here.
It comes inside.
Yeah.
So do we have plans?
plans?
Do we have plans prior to school starting to backfill that, or how?
Yeah, we'll need to get that. I was just trying to give them enough time to see if we could get it. I didn't want to do that with no change and
Right.
just have to redo it again. So I was hopeful that maybe we could get some kind of answer prior to that. But yeah, worst case scenario, we'll have to cut it and fill it in. And
We still getting water in the basement too. We're still getting
Oh
some
yeah,
basement water. problem?
basement's constant.
What about a landscape plan? Did we ever get any?
Yeah, I
Yes,
shared that with Holly.
Yep. I was going to put that in the week's update.
Okay.
Matt gave us I came up with a rudimentary map of all of our grounds here, and he kind of went through and showed this area, what he would like to do. So I shared that with Holly to forward on to you guys, and then ultimately that'll just be a decision that you guys can make as far as how you want to move forward.
And I know originally he was worried about spraying the clover and all that stuff while school was in session, cause the kids and stuff. Is that gonna get done
do you think, before school starts?
Spraying in the.
The weeds and stuff, yeah, and the grass,
Most of the weeds,
fertilizing.
most of the weeds as far as in the hardscapes and everything have been sprayed now. I think about everything is dead other than just unless you're just talking about improving the grass.
I thought that was part of the,
Yeah, I
Was
think
the
that was
grass.
done, I think he did an initial treatment at the beginning of the process.
Okay.
Like a pre-emergent type deal, but
I can send that tonight if you'd rather, instead of
I
the
haven't,
end of the week.
we've
I
been
was just
talking
curious.
weekly.
Yeah.
I haven't talked with him yet. I left early today, so, generally I've been talking to him on Mondays, but we'll probably get with him tomorrow and see what the next week's plan is.
All right. Any other questions, comments? Okay, upcoming dates, a regular session board meeting on August the 10th. Public hearing will be that night as well, the second public hearing for the bond issuance. First teacher day is August 11th, and first student day is August 13th. So we got a month left, so enjoy it while you can, all right? All right, I need a motion and a second to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.